Well, the argument is now for me, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at Harry Kane. I think he's a world-class footballer. There's no question about that. But I look at him and are Tottenham better without Harry Kane?
Yeah, well,
The same probably, maybe. Certainly not better.
It's a different play style, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but you look at when he was at Spurs and they've not won anything, they've not done anything. He's gone to Bayern. He's still scoring loads of goals, but they're not the best team.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking at the Euros, does he start for England? Now I know he's going to start, but for me, I'm looking at him. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Harry Kane's not a world-class player. He's a world-class player and scores a lot of goals. But I'm talking about the balance of the team to win. Yeah. And the way that the England are playing now, right, with Kane, we don't have a focal point. If he plays up front, he drops too deep, and we don't have a focal point. Yeah. And when you've got the likes of Jude Bellingham there, who's got that ability, he's proven that at the highest level now, to get into the box and score goals, we need somebody to actually stay up there. So for a team's point of view, right, would it be better to start with somebody like Ollie Watkins, who right now in the Premier League since last year, he's only second to Erling Haaland in terms of his goals, and he stays up against the last man. So if we've got the likes of Bellingham and Foden in midfield who can make those runs, that's better for us, because if I know people have the argument, well, if Kane drops, he leaves the space for the midfield players to run in, but I'm just looking at overall at what happens with Harry Kane when he plays. Like, you've seen what happens at Spurs, you've seen now what happens at Bayern. He scores an awful lot of goals.
Yeah.
But he's still not winning anything.
Yeah, that's it. It's difficult.
It's mad, isn't it?
I think just the way that he plays, dropping into that area, is great, and he's got his awareness and his passing ability is fantastic. I'm just looking at it as a manager's point of view, looking at going to the Euros, and I want to win the Euros, right? So if I'm going to and I want to win the Euros, we need to score goals. Yeah. Now, Harry Kane scores goals, but he can't score goals if he's dropping deep. You know, as a centre back, if Harry Kane drops deep for me, I'm happy.
True.
I'm happy. As a centre back, if he's dropping into midfield, I'm happy to see him there. You know, you look at Son now at Spurs. He's come again scoring goals. Right, he's been away at Asian Cup, and he's still scored 17, 18 goals already this season. Yeah. Right, because he's playing. You know, and I know Son and Kane had an unbelievable partnership, but what I'm saying is there has to be a focal point for the team and for England, and it's where this is where you get paid the big bucks. Gareth Southgate's got to make a decision on, you know, what is going to be the best balance for the team to go on to the Euros and win. Now, for me, I don't see that if Harry Kane keeps dropping down. If he stays up the pitch, right, then that's fine. But if we're going to get our runners in like Foden and Bellingham, and Bellingham's, you've seen it at Real Madrid, you've seen it for England, where he can get into that box, he'll go off somebody like Ollie Watkins. I don't think Ollie Watkins is world class in terms of his back to goal playing. He's got better at it with Villa, but I tell you what, he's brilliant at the moment. He's pulling off the shoulder of defenders and running in behind and keeping the back four honest. Now, if we have that as an option with the likes of Foden and the likes of Jude Bellingham, and you've got Declan Rice there as well, then, you know, teams should be fair in England in the Euros.
Yeah.
I think, for me, England should go on and win that competition.
Well, there's no shoulds at international level.
Well, they won't now.
Yeah, there's no shoulds in international competition. You know, you look at the World Cup, everybody was fancying Brazil to win the World Cup. Look at the teams who went out there. There's no shoulds in international football, because all the countries now, most of their players apply their trade in Europe. You know, so you come up to the African teams, a lot of those players are playing at top European clubs now. So there's no real right to win a tournament. Do you know what I mean?
They should go close with the squad.
Well, I think it's fair to say that I know people are saying for Gareth it's win or that's not good enough. I mean, the simple fact is Gareth has been the most successful England manager, including Sir Alf Ramsey. When I'm talking, okay, Sir Alf Ramsey won the World Cup in '66, but in terms of games won, and everybody can say, well, Gareth's got the players he has, but so did Capello, so did Venables, and they still haven't done better than what Gareth's done. Yeah. But I think this comes from the fact that we should have won the Euros, in my opinion, at Wembley against Italy. We should have won the Euros, and what put Gareth under pressure is, I think Gareth took a gamble of going to penalties and hoped that would work. But when you look at the bench and you look at the players that you've got on the bench that could potentially change the game, that's the likes of Mourinho, that's the likes of Alex Ferguson. I remember when Man United won the league and we were playing them at Old Trafford. I mean, Alex Ferguson, he wasn't happy with the draw. They won it in the 92nd minute. Steve Bruce scored 2 goals, 92nd, 93rd minute. He changed the team. He was very positive, and that's what you've got to be at that level. You've got to, it's not shit or bust, but it's almost being brave, to go and win the tournament.
Do you think that plays into the fact that when Gareth plays, obviously he was a defender, so he's got more of a natural cautious mindset to maybe try and shut up shop, whereas, like you say, some of the other managers, they go for bust, or they're able to make those tactical things. Like maybe the best one at the moment doing is Pep Guardiola, changes the game 3 or 4 times throughout the match. He can identify and spot those, things like, I need to tweak that tactically. Do you think that plays a part into why Gareth maybe don't see those changes because he played in as a defender? Or
I don't see as him being a defender that makes any difference to the way that he plays. But he probably, if you look at Gareth, and that's why, if we're being honest, that's why he got the job in the first place after Sam Allardyce and everything that's gone on. I think, and Sam Allardyce was proven not to have done anything wrong. Yeah. But I think they looked at Gareth, as a safe pair of hands. There's going to be no controversy. I mean, I look at Gareth, no disrespect, and I've said this before, he didn't play for a top 4 club, but got 60 caps for England. Yeah. No disrespect to Gareth. I think he was a very solid player, but he wasn't better than the players that were in the squad. Gary Pallister, myself included, and whatever. But he ended up getting 60 caps because he toes the line. He does a very good job, and he's a steady Eddie, and that's why he's got the England job. But you need more than that to go on and win a major tournament. You need to have that cutting edge where you say, Bobby Robson had it. You've got to have that cutting edge where you're ruthless and say, right, at the end of the day, this isn't about you as a player. This is when I'm talking about Harry Kane. This isn't about you, Harry Kane. This is about England winning the tournament, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I know maybe some people might agree with me, some people might not. So if he's going to go with Kane up front, Kane has to stay up front and play as the focal player. He's got to do that. He's got to do that. If he keeps dropping back, then for me, you've got to either play him as a midfield player, which he's not a midfield player, or leave him out. And it's a big call. It's a big call. But I would, and I'm being honest with you. Okay. Yeah. I would start with Ollie Watkins right now. He's got the pace. He's running again along the line. He's flying at the moment. He's scoring the goals. He'll stretch the back 4.